Recently, a friend of mine gave me advice to use Azure B2C for user authentication and roles management. So let's see what we can do with Azure B2C when we have a little front-end application which talks to some kind of API in order to get some data. So what we have here is our front-end application, and we also have a web API deployed in a different project with a CRUD operations for something called items. Item has ID, name, description and some other fields. So this front-end talks to web API. Pretty simple solution. No user or authentication, authorization or user management applied, and this is exactly what we're trying to do. So for user authentication, let's use Entra or Azure B2C, whatever it's called right now, for user management and for roles assignment, management, and for controlling access to the front end and to the API. For that, we've created app registration in Azure and configured front-end application and web API. Let me quickly show configuration of the front end. This is my front-end configuration with SAL library, and also this is my web API configuration together with Azure authentication. Basically pretty simple out of the box demos from Azure. Okay, so I did not write any code for user management and authentication. Let's try login. This is our front end, and we can log in via two different ways, via pop-up or via redirect. I will try to use redirect. In my application I don't have any user created right now, so what I need to do, the step number one is to sign up or create a user. This is Azure B2C user creation flow. It has some kind of rules. I need to provide my email. Email should be verified. This is my verification code. I need to verify my email, and then I can create my new user. By providing a password and some other details. Okay, my user has been created and I'm also authorized in my front-end web application. This list of claims delivered from the Azure, claims read from the ID token issued by my authority on Azure B2C. Let's check what we have inside Azure. So here in the users collection, I do see my new user. Okay, sounds good. But wait a minute, I have all the user records and everything on Azure, but actually I would like to also have an access to a list of users to get roles, to the authentication process, maybe extend claims or do some kind of other things. And exactly for that, Azure B2C has something what calls ApiConnectors. Let me show ApiConnectors for my application. So here in Azure B2C, in the user flow, this is sign in user flow I've created. And here I've added two connectors, user create and user authenticate. If we try to check the configuration of that connectors, these are URIs of my own web API, which then called by Azure when something happening in Azure, like when we create a user or when we authorize a user. Exactly like that. So Azure AD talks to my web API and calls two methods in case of two different events. Let me show the source code of the connector. So here is connector started. It has two web APIs, user create and user authorize. Here are methods, user authenticate and user create. And what this method does, it just records data about creation into my own database right here. On create new account, I place a record in my database. Let me see what we have in the users database. Here is a user, the one I sign up to Azure. So Entra called my API when user created, and I can do absolutely anything with the information, like place into the database. So let's try to call my web API and get list of items. I will clean network requests and try to call an item, and boom, it doesn't work. I have forbidden response, and reason for that in my API, when I try to get list of items, I need to have this is a web method. I need to have admin role. So for that user I've created in where it is. For that user I have in my Azure, I need to have admin role assigned. So let's try to assign admin role to my newly created user. For that I need to go into Entra AD Enterprise Applications, find my application, get list of the users of that application, and I need to create new assignment. The user I'm going to assign is this one. Yep. And I will assign my own role, for example, admin. This list of roles I also created in my Azure. We also can assign couple roles. Let's assign for the same user like a different role, maybe manager. Assign. Let's get back to the list of claims. For my previous application I don't have any extension roles, but when I try to log out and log in once again with my test user, in the list of roles I do see my roles assigned. With that I probably can successfully call my web API as an admin like that. We have data delivered from the web API only available for admin. Talking about communication stream between Azure and my own web API, for now I've implemented two API connectors. First one is executed when new account is created, because step is post attribute collection, and also another one, method or connector, executed before token is issued. And for that I deliver list of my very own. Let me find the method. User create, user authenticate. Let's have a breakpoint here and try to authenticate once again. Let me log out, login. Just for fun, let's do login via pop-up, like that. When I click this sign in button, Azure will invoke my connector web API, like that. It sends all the data it has about the user, and let me place a breakpoint where we ask list of roles via graph API, like that, via graph client. We're asking user, we're asking list of all available roles, and also roles assigned to my user. And for now I have two roles assigned, admin and manager, like that. And with admin role I successfully can call my web API to get data as an admin. Seems like Azure B2C is something we can adopt in our current production application. Thanks for good advice.